Hello, my name is Gail Cavanaugh, and I'm with the True Vine Church of God in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And our discussion today is entitled Persist and Endure. Now, marketing and selling products and services is not an easy job, but in order to make money, we have to engage in a lot of activity. It is through repeated attempts to offer the products and services that we are able to make the sale. Then the process starts all over again. For some, this would not be the ideal job for them, but for others, this is what God has called us to do. In order to have success with the business, one has to have persistence and endurance. There are several people in the Bible who had these qualities. One that comes to mind is the persistent widow in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18, verse 1-8. This woman kept appealing to a judge to give her relief from her adversaries. She kept going to the judge and pleading with him until he finally gave in to her wishes, not because he loved God and not because he was concerned about her, but because he was afraid she would make him weary. Now, this is a parable which teaches us to be persistent in prayer because God will answer. But it is also a great illustration of the kind of persistence that we need with our prospects. Many of us make the mistake of quitting because we do not see immediate results. But we have to continue. If we want to earn a living, no one said it would be easy. We have to build up a momentum so that the enemy will not get in the way of the sale. This takes time. We have to be able to take a stand against the devil's schemes. We think we are going to hurt people's feelings, but if you are confident that you are giving them a good product, then you should be persistent. The devil will make up all kinds of excuses for why the prospect should not buy your product or service. When we examine the life of Jesus and examine the way that he spoke to his adversaries, in Matthew 7:29, the Bible says that Jesus taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. In other words, he had command of the subject, and that did not happen in a few hours. It happened over a number of years of careful study, which began when he was a child. Luke 2:40 says, "And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him." Notice that the Bible says that Jesus waxed strong in spirit, and that the grace of God was upon him. Jesus was an excellent student. He was also gracious in his dealings with others. We have to remember to be gracious to the prospects at all times. As we continue in our efforts and get the proper training from the companies and understanding of the prospects, we will improve in our relationships with them. It takes time, a strong spirit, graciousness, and wisdom. We have to develop these qualities about ourselves if we are going to be successful. Paul often spoke about the struggles to spread the good news of the gospel around the world, and he encountered many problems which he had to overcome. He was trying to convert his Jewish brothers, but to no avail. He then embarked on a journey to parts of the world which were previously unknown to him, to speak to the Gentiles. In 2 Corinthians 11:25, Paul says, "These 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was pelted with stones. 3 times I was shipwrecked. I spent a night and a day in the open sea." But in spite of it all, he continued to preach the gospel with joy. In Philippians 1:20, he says, "I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but will have sufficient courage, so that now, as always, Christ will be exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain." Do you really believe that the Lord would have you do all this for nothing? Not so. The Lord will bless your efforts if you hearken unto his voice. We need to hearken unto the command in Psalm 1, 2, and 3. In conclusion, as we are working, we can reflect on God's words about persistence and endurance. When we are offering our products and services in the marketplace, it is helpful for us to remember the struggles that some of the people in the Bible endured. Be encouraged in the stories and the accounts from the ones who went before you. So I hope this encourages you and blesses you. God love you and have a wonderful, blessed day.